This right here was the second sickest sight at the Republican National Convention. The reason I call it the second, and I'll get back to you on the first, but what made it so sick that the so-called tribute to 9/11 was all bullshit. Like Dr. Ron Paul said, we never learn from the mistakes of our past. By sticking our nose in Middle Eastern concerns for years, eventually America was going to bully their way through the world, and they got slapped. But I don't think the so-called Taliban had anything to do with this. Because if you ever looked at the so-called bombers, they were all Jordanians and Saudi citizens. Did we go to war with them? No. The whole 9/11 bullshit was to put us in an unconstitutional war, pass unconstitutional amendments to pass unconstitutional everything. And I cannot believe the Republicans had the balls to put up such bullshit, profiting off the very terror that under their watch, that's a Republican House, a Republican Senate, and a Republican President, should be ashamed of. They were asleep at the wheel. Bush was too busy playing in a schoolhouse trying to teach little kids how to read and write, or the importance of reading and writing, while who knows what the House and Senate were doing, probably passing some bullshit pork bill. When this all happened, when it was already warned 10 years before this would happen. Popular Science ran an article 10 years before this, back in 92. The terrorists were plotting to use planes. But did they listen? No. Rather than allow the airlines to beef up security on their own, chose to cut it, gut it, take away civilians' rights to not only have weapons for defensive purposes, not offensive, defensive purposes. Because maybe that would never have happened. But I don't believe that this was the Taliban had anything to do with this. How can a bunch of lone so-called terrorists be able to slip by the most defended continent in the world easy? Because the government don't give a shit. They don't even do their basic jobs right. How do you think they're going to do this right? What a fucking joke. And you know what? The Republicans ought to be completely ashamed of that worthless bullshit show. The true Republican convention was not done there. It was done 10 miles away. The Ron Paul rally was probably the most tasteful. I thought that was the true Republican conference. You know, only reason I'm even halfway paying attention to these, I boycotted. I didn't even bother going to that one. I went with USA Tomorrow crew to the true convention. The Rally for Freedom. Ron Paul's. To me, the true Republican candidate for president. McCain is bullshit all the way through. Whenever you're going to realize that, he's going to continue the bullshit because you don't make a mistake and stay on the same path. Had they had strengthened the borders like Dr. Ron Paul said, start here first. Fuck the little sand trap out there. They'll eventually come around their way of thinking. But this is so much bullshit. I hope one day, America, you wake up and smell the fucking coffee.